Hello and welcome to my raid guide to Sabetha, who is the last boss of Spiritville, the first wing of the Forsaken Thicket. This fight takes place on one big platform which is surrounded by 4 smaller ones, and there exist no barriers to prevent you from falling down to your death, so be careful if you are close to the edge. For Sabetha you should bring 1 or 2 PS warriors, 1 or 2 chronomancer and at least 1 healer. The rest can be filled with a mixture of DPS. Because of the way her mechanics work and the fact that she doesn't move, there's no need for a toughness tank here. Your goal in this fight is to kill Sabetha before the platform gets destroyed. You can see the platform's health bar at the upper right on your screen, and if it gets empty, you fall down and die. There are 2 mechanics responsible for platform damage. The first mechanic is Cannon Barrage. Every 30 seconds a cannon will spawn on one of the 4 outside platforms in a set pattern. The pattern is south, west, north, east, south, north, west and east. To reach the platform, one player must go to a launch pad, while another one throws a green bomb to the launch pad. You'll get the green bomb from an ad called Bandit Zapper, who spawns right after a cannon. This ad then throws 1 green bomb to a random player, and this player has 5 seconds to throw his green bomb with his special action key to the white launch pad. The launch player will then reach the cannon and he also gets shell shocked, which is a debuff making him unable to use another launch pad for 50 seconds. So you need to assign at least 2 players for cannon duty. Classes with high mobility and high burst damage like Daredevil, Dragon Hunter or Alice are really great for this job. As long as this cannon is operational, it will shoot down a barrage to a section of the main platform, dealing damage to the platform but also high damage to everyone who is hit by the barrage. And to add some information to the green bombs before going to the other mechanics. While it is normally random who gets the green bomb, there is a way to get the bomb most of the time. Use a taunt skill on the Bandit Zapper so he aggroes on you and gives you the bomb, but use that when everyone in your group is comfortable with the green bombs. Otherwise it can be a mess if you miss the taunt. I will cover the second platform damaging mechanic later. And now to Sabetha herself, who has no damaging aura, thankfully. Her auto attack is called Heat, and it's just a shotgun attack for small damage. This shouldn't be a problem and can be healed through easily. Now to her first real mechanic. Every 7 seconds Sabetha will use Flag Shot. She targets the player furthest away from her and shoots 4 to 5 fireballs to him. The fireballs create pools of fire where they land and they cannot be reflected or destroyed. For this mechanic you assign 1 ranged player with good survivability to go outside and kite these flag shots, otherwise the middle will be covered with pools of fire. The next mechanic is called Time Bomb. Sabetha will stick a bomb with an orange AoE field to 1 player who then has 3 seconds to get out of the group, because the explosion after the 3 seconds will just deal small damage to the player with the bomb, but really high damage to everyone caught by its AoE field. This mechanic also kills every down player caught by it. Sabetha normally targets the player closest to her, so you can assign 1 player to get the time bomb most of the time. When you get a bomb, you'll get a notification on your screen, in a chat, a bomb symbol over your head and a small audio indicator, so it shouldn't be too hard to notice it. Sometimes she'll ignore the player closest to her, so it can happen that another one can get a time bomb. It's rare, but it can happen. This mechanic normally has a 15 seconds cooldown, but she won't use it in the middle of a flame wall, but right after the flame wall a bomb will be tagged to 1 player. Speaking of flame wall, beginning 30 seconds into the fight and then after every 45 seconds, Sabetha will cast Flame Ball and an arrow will spawn where she is facing now. 2 seconds after the arrow spawned, the flame wall appears. Sabetha will always rotate counterclockwise with the wall. If you get hit by it, you just die. Don't try to dodge through the wall or to block it. It won't help you and you will get burned to ashes. If you're on top of the arrow, dodge left before the wall appears so you don't need to outrun the wall. And don't try to stand inside Sabetha. The flame wall starts in her hitbox and will kill you if you stand inside her. But what you can do is to use teleport skills like Blink or Lightning Flash to teleport you through the wall, which is helpful if you are on cannon duty and need to reach the platform. But be careful with this. If you are too close to the wall or lagging, then the game will still think that you got hit and you will die. The flame ball also can be irritating for the guy who is returning from his cannon duty, and it's easy to get killed by the flame wall after reaching the platform. There are two ways to prevent this. First, there is a small updraft between the main platform and the cannon platform where you can stay for 1 or 2 seconds. I would advise to stay as far away from the main platform as possible while being in the updraft, because it can happen that you'll get hit by the wall in the updraft. The updraft also stays for just a short time, so don't stay there too long. Second way is to just camp the cannon platform until it is safe to go back. It can be a bit annoying with the sniper there shooting at you, but it shouldn't be that much of a deal. You can set a position where the flame wall will start by stacking up on one point with the flag kiter being roughly behind your group. Stack in melee range at the direction where the next cannon will spawn, and you can not only set the position of the flame wall, you have an easier time for the green bombs since the players normally will be closer to the next cannon spawn, giving you more time to throw the green bombs. Throughout the fight, 3 types of ads will spawn. The first ads are the bandit zappers, who are kind enough to give you the green bombs. The second ones are the arsonists, who can deal a lot of damage with their flamethrower attacks. The last ones are the fogs, and they're the real assholes of the fight. While they don't do much damage, they love to do the following things: kicking players into flame walls, kicking players outside the platform, kicking players with time bombs back to the group, and kicking 2 time bomb players together. Pull them together and cleave them down to avoid awkward situations. At 75%, Sabetha will leave the platform and makes room for Kernan. Her main mechanic is Hail of Bullets. She shoots 3 cone attacks with it, with the first being the smallest and not very damaging, and the last being a wide cone and dealing high damage. Try to soak in the first 2 shots and then dodge the third one. But be aware that the AoE indicator on this attack behaves differently than normal. Instead of appearing before the attack, it will appear after the attack. Dodge after the second AoE indicator appears and the third shot shouldn't hit you. During this intermission phase, heavy bombs will appear. This is the second mechanic that's damaging the platform. The players have 10 seconds to kick them out of the platform before they explode and deal massive damage to the platform. To kick these bombs, you just go to them and press F or any other key you're bound for interact. Sabetha will either come back after 1 minute or when Kernan reaches 25% health, normally starting with a flame wall to the northeast. Kill off Kernan and then concentrate on Sabetha again. The only change now is that flame wall rotates a bit faster. At 50%, Sabetha will again vanish and this time Knuckles will appear. His attack is an overhead smash called Platform Quake. He charges this attack for 4 seconds and his breakbar can be damaged with CC. If you fail to CC him, he'll get knocked into the air first and then knocked back a great distance. Failing to CC him can result in players being knocked off the platform. If you CC him, you will receive more damage than normal for 5 seconds. Since this attack also comes in every 15 seconds, you should have no problem with Knuckles. Just CC and nuke him. Oh, and don't forget that you have to deal with heavy bombs and cannons in this intermission phase again. Sabetha will come back at the same conditions like on Kernan, either 1 minute after leaving or having Knuckles at 25%, normally starting with a flame wall again at the northeast. This time 2 players instead of 1 receive the time bomb and needs to move out of the group. And the flame wall rotates a bit faster. At 75%, Sabetha will leave again. And this time Carter will jump in. Carter has a strong flamethrower attack, don't try to face tank it, otherwise you'll be hit quite hard. Carter also uses linked ignition. He spawns turret on the platform which will shoot out 8 small bolts of fire in a circle-like pattern. These small orbs of fire deal 1.5k fixed damage when they hit someone, which may not sound really threatening, but since Carter is constantly spawning these turrets, you need someone to kill these things, otherwise the fight can devolve into a bullet hell-like scenario really fast. And it will only become worse when the cannons are firing and Sabetha is back. One interesting fact with Carter is that he receives far more condition damage than normal, so having 1 or 2 condis really helps with getting him down fast. Sabetha will be back again under the same conditions as Kernan and Knuckles. This time a new mechanic called Platform Crush is active. Small AoE fields will spawn at random locations, dealing a bit damage to the players. Just don't panic and proceed as usual, this damage can be outhit quite easy. And surprise! Flame rotates a bit faster again. And this is Sabetha. To summarize the most important mechanics: destroy the cannons by launching a player with a green bomb, avoid the flame ball, get the orange bombs out of the group, and don't panic at the last 25% where a lot of small AoEs will spawn all over the platform, and you should be fine. Leave a like comment below if you'd like to see more videos. I hope this has been of some help to you. Thank you for watching, and until next time.